Hello, YouTube. There's more to the story of Balaam than I thought there was going to be. I'm going to read beginning in Numbers 22, verse 4, and kind of interject as I go. Now, Balak, son of Zippor, was king of Moab at that time. He sent messengers to Balaam, son of Beor at Pethor, which is on the Euphrates in the land of Ammah, to summon him, saying, "A people has come out of Egypt. They have spread over the face of the earth, and they have settled next to me. Come now, curse this people for me, since they are stronger than I. Perhaps I shall be able to defeat them and drive them from the land. For I know that whomsoever you bless is blessed, and whomsoever you curse is cursed." So Balaam is used to doing this kind of thing. On whose authority has he efficaciously blessed or cursed people in the past? And why haven't we heard of him before if he's received authority from Elohim? So the elders of Moab and the elders of Midian departed with the fees for divination in their hand. And they came to Balaam and gave him Balak's message. He said to them, "Stay here tonight, and I will bring back word to you, just as the Lord speaks to me." So he has done this before. So the officials of Moab stayed with Balaam. God came to Balaam and said, "Who are these men with you?" Balaam said to God, "King Balak, son of Zippor of Moab, has sent me this message. A people has come out of Egypt and has spread over the face of the earth. Now come, curse them for me. Perhaps I shall be able to fight against them and drive them out." Wouldn't God already have knowledge of this conversation? God said to Balaam, "You shall not go with them. You shall not curse the people, for they are blessed." So Balaam rose in the morning and said to the officials of Balak, "Go to your own land, for the Lord has refused to let me go with you." So the officials of Moab rose and went to Balak and said, "Balaam refuses to come with us." Once again Balak sent officials more numerous and more distinguished than these. As if that's going to be able to withstand the authority of God. They came to Balaam and said to him, "Thus says Balak, son of Zippor, do not let anything hinder you from coming to me, for I will surely do you great honor, and whatever you say to me I will do. Come, curse this people for me." But Balaam replied to the servants of Balak, "Although Balak were to give me his house full of silver and gold, I could not go beyond the command of the Lord my God to do less or more." So he has done this on the Lord's authority before. "You remain here as the others did, so that I may learn what more the Lord may say to me." That night God came to Balaam and said to him, "If the men have come to summon you, get up and go with them, but do only what I tell you to do." So Balaam got up in the morning, saddled his donkey, and went with the officials of Moab. God's anger was kindled because he was going, and the angel of the Lord took his stand in the road as his adversary. God's anger was kindled because he was going, but in verse 20, God gave him instructions on what to do if he was to go. Now he was riding on the donkey, and his two servants were with him. The donkey saw the angel of the Lord standing in the road with a drawn sword in his hand. So the donkey turned off the road and went into the field, and Balaam struck the donkey to turn it back onto the road. Then the angel of the Lord stood in a narrow path between the vineyards with a wall on either side. When the donkey saw the angel of the Lord, it scraped against the wall and scraped Balaam's foot against the wall, so he struck it again. Then the angel of the Lord went ahead and stood in a narrow place where there was no way to turn either to the right or to the left. When the donkey saw the angel of the Lord, it lay down under Balaam. And Balaam's anger was kindled, and he struck the donkey with his staff. Then the Lord opened the mouth of the donkey, and it said to Balaam, "What have I done to you that you have struck me these 3 times?" Balaam said to the donkey, "Because you have made a fool of me. I wish I had a sword in my hand. I would kill you right now." But the donkey said to Balaam, "Am I not your donkey, which you have ridden all your life to this day? Have I been in the habit of treating you in this way?" And he said, "No." Well, if Balaam has regular conversations with Elohim, I can understand how having a conversation with his donkey would leave him unfazed. Then the Lord opened the eyes of Balaam, and he saw the angel of the Lord standing in the road with his drawn sword in his hand. and he bowed down, falling on his face. The angel of the Lord said to him, "Why have you struck your donkey these 3 times? I have come out as an adversary because your way is perverse before me. The donkey saw me and turned away from me these 3 times. If it had not turned away from me, surely I would by now have killed you and let it live." So this whole thing with the angel of the Lord has been a game from the beginning. He allowed the donkey to see him, and gave the donkey the sentience to be able to do what it needed to do to avoid him. But he didn't allow Balaam to see him. If Balaam saw him, he surely would have avoided the angel of the Lord in the first place. Did the angel of the Lord really want to kill him? Then Balaam said to the angel of the Lord, "I have sinned, for I did not know that you were standing on the road to oppose me." So that was Balaam's sin, that he didn't see him. "Now therefore, if it is displeasing to you, I will return home." The angel of the Lord said to Balaam, "Go with the men, but speak only what I tell you to speak." So Balaam went on with the officials of Balak. When Balak heard that Balaam had come, he went out to meet him at Moab, on the boundary formed by the Arnon, at the farthest point of the boundary. Balak said to Balaam, "Did I not send to summon you? Why did you not come to me? Am I not able to honor you?" Balaam said to Balak, "I have come to you now, but do I have power to say just anything? The word God puts in my mouth, that is what I must say." Then Balaam went with Balak, and they came to Kiriath Huzoth. Balak sacrificed oxen and sheep and sent them to Balaam and to the officials who were with him. To what deity did Balak sacrifice the oxen and the sheep? And why did Balaam accept the sacrificed animals? Surely that would have justified being incinerated on the spot. On the next day, Balak took Balaam and brought him up to Bamoth Baal, and from there he could see part of the people of Israel. In chapter 23, I'm going to read verses 1 through 10. Then Balaam said to Balak, "Build me 7 altars there, and prepare 7 bulls and 7 rams for me." Balak did as Balaam had said, and Balak and Balaam offered a bull and a ram on each altar. Balak is able to cooperate in giving offerings, burnt offerings, to the Lord. I thought only priests could do that. Then Balaam said to Balak, "Stay here beside your burnt offerings while I go aside. Perhaps the Lord will come to meet me. Whatever he shows me, I will tell you." And he went to a bare height. Then God met Balaam, and Balaam said to him, "I have arranged the 7 altars, and have offered a bull and a ram on each altar." The Lord put a word in Balaam's mouth and said, "Return to Balak, and this is what you must say." So he returned to Balak, who was standing beside his burnt offerings with all the officials of Moab. Then Balaam uttered his oracle, saying, "Balak has brought me from Aram, the king of Moab from the eastern mountains. Come, curse Jacob for me. Come, denounce Israel. How can I curse whom God has not cursed? How can I denounce those whom the Lord has not denounced? For from the top of the crags I see him, from the hills I behold him. Here is a people living alone and not reckoning itself among the nations. Who can count the dust of Jacob and remember or number the dust cloud of Israel? Let me die the death of the upright, and let my end be like his." Here is a people living alone and not reckoning itself among the nations. In the previous chapters of Numbers, it's described that the Israelites exterminated 3 different peoples off the face of the planet. Are they going to be not reckoning themselves some more in the future? I guess we'll find out.